Do you ever look back and realize just how many times you said sorry when you really meant this just isn't right for me? It's wild how normal it becomes, apologizing for taking your time, protecting your energy, trusting your gut, wanting something different, like you need permission just to be yourself. At some point, you just get tired of explaining yourself, especially to people who only like the version of you that played small. And that's when everything starts to shift, because this chapter, it's not about shrinking. Here are 10 things I'm no longer apologizing for, and maybe you'll recognize a few of your own in here. So the top of my list, these are not in any particular order, but this one is high on my list. I do not apologize for not answering my phone right away. People usually call when it's convenient for them, right? And I've learned to answer when it's right for me. It's as simple as that. I'm not ignoring anyone, and I'm just not operating on urgency anymore. I'll respond when I'm present, when I'm available, and actually want to connect. No guilt, no scrambling, no pressure. And it's not personal. It's just me treating my time with the same care that I assume the caller gives their time. Another thing I no longer apologize for is saying no. And I say no now without a monologue. I used to feel like saying no required a full-on explanation, justifying it, softening it, offering alternatives, all to make sure no one felt disappointed. Now, if something doesn't feel aligned to me, I say no, and I do it kindly, clearly, and that's just it. Saying yes when you mean no might seem kind, but it truly chips away at your peace, and your peace matters. I'm no longer willing to trade my peace for people pleasing. I've learned that a simple no is enough, and I don't need to add more just to make it easier for someone else to hear that no. Another thing I don't apologize for now is wanting more, even now. There's this weird cultural script that once you hit 60, you should be content with what you have. Want anything else? Suddenly you're greedy, unrealistic, or my personal favorite, told to be just grateful. I am grateful. I'm also still growing. I'm still dreaming. I'm still curious. And I've realized what wanting more is not a flaw. It's life calling you forward. And I'm not pretending I don't hear it just because someone else thinks I've had my turn. The truth is, I'm more equipped now than I've ever been. I've done the inner work. I know what matters to me. And I finally feel at ease wanting more without overthinking it, without justifying it, and without shrinking it down. I'm also releasing relationships that don't feel right anymore. Not everyone who started the journey with you is meant to walk the rest of the way. I used to hold on to friendships longer than I should have because I didn't want to hurt anyone or be seen as unkind. But the longer I stayed in something that no longer felt mutual, the more disconnected I felt from myself. I can still love who someone was to me while being honest about who I am now. Letting go isn't cold, it's clarity, and sometimes it's the kindest thing you can do for both of you. I'm not explaining my spirituality anymore, whether it's the law of attraction, energy work, mindset rewiring, or just trusting my gut. I don't owe anyone a step-by-step manual on why it makes sense to me. It works. I feel better. I trust it. End of TED Talk. And no, I also don't need a peer-reviewed study or a family member's approval to believe in what's changed my life. Not anymore. You don't have to believe it for me to live it. You don't even have to understand it. That's the beauty of alignment. It does not require an audience. I no longer apologize for taking up space online. And this is a really big one for me. For a long, long time, I felt like showing up online, especially at my age, was opening the door to judgment. Like I was just inviting it, come on in. But I realized hiding never protected me from judgment in the first place. So I might as well show up as myself. But here's the truth. People judge whether you hide or shine. It's just, I think, human nature. So you might as well shine. Say the thing, post the video, share your stories, sell the product if you have one. The people who are meant to find you, they're not looking for perfect. They're looking for real. And I'm showing up as I am because that's enough. I'm not showing up because I think I know more than anyone else. I'm showing up because I finally trust what I do know. And I've earned that. And I'm not going quiet now. There's still too much I want to say and create. Another thing I gave up apologizing for is spending money on myself. I used to second guess anything that felt like a luxury. Do I really need this? Should I be saving this money instead? Is this irresponsible of me to spend this money? But over time, I realized it wasn't really about the purchase in the first place. It was about the habit of putting myself last. And that did not feel good once I understood that. I've always spent money easily on others. No guilt, no debate, no worries. Now I extend myself that same ease. And that shift, it feels really good. It feels grounded, and it's really long overdue. So I'm also leaving behind versions of me that I feel people liked better. And this one's been really sneaky. Sometimes people don't miss you. They miss the version of you they were used to. And I'm not that version anymore. I've changed in ways that really matter to me. And I'm not asking anyone to understand it, but I'm also no longer shrinking myself just to keep the peace. Guess what? You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to shift. And yes, sometimes that means certain relationships don't quite fit the way they used to. That's not cruel. It's just life doing what life does. Some people are meant to walk the whole road with you. Others, just a few really meaningful miles. And guess what? When those paths naturally split, it's not a failure. It's actually a clearing for both of you to meet the people who fit who you are now. So here's one that for me was a big deal is I don't apologize for needing rest anymore, and I don't try to justify needing rest. And by this, I mean throughout the day if I'm feeling tired. So this one really took time for me to come to grips with. Silly as it might sound, but I used to believe that I had to earn rest, that I had to accomplish something like check some boxes or my checklist, be extra productive, and then maybe I could slow down. But I have realized rest is not a reward. It's actually a rhythm. And now I rest when I'm tired. Like I pay attention to that. I don't wait and think, am I allowed? Will I allow myself this? I don't need a gold star to take a nap or get some rest. So sometimes my rest does look like napping, and other times it's canceling plans I was never excited about in the first place. Rest is personal, and I'm done treating it like a moral failure. Last but not least of the 10 things I'm no longer apologizing for is being too much for some people, like too loud, too opinionated, too quiet, too emotional, too ambitious, too open. At some point, you realize it's not actually about you. It's about the lens they're looking at you through. I'm not too much. I'm not enough. I'm just not for everyone. And that's the point. The more you become yourself, the more polarizing you get. And the more magnetic you become to the right people. The kind who don't flinch when you expand. The kind who meet your energy with, I've been waiting for this version of you. Let me say this part clearly so you get it. Apologizing when you genuinely caused harm, that's powerful. That's integrity. But apologizing for your needs, your truth, your dreams, your energy, your timing, that's a habit I personally broke up with. And if any part of you is craving that kind of freedom, you're in the right place. So if this gave you the clarity or even just the spark you've been waiting for, please like this video. And if this kind of conversation feels like something you want more of in your world, subscribing is a great way to stay connected as the channel grows. Thanks for hanging out. Next chapter's coming soon.